All right, now we're over here looking at Goblin Vaults. Why don't you take us through what this was?
Yeah, so Goblin Vaults is one of our releases from earlier this year. This is kind of a blend of a trick-taking and an auction game. So over the course of the game, you're going to be collecting these cards that in this kind of 4x3 grid. You'll put 10 of the cards in 12 of the 12 slots. 10 of them will be filled. So at the end of the game, everyone will have this is called your vault, something like this. And then the way scoring works is that each one of these cards has an icon in the upper right-hand corner that tells you where it wants to be in this space. So you can see this one wants to be in the third slot, whereas a card like this wants to be in the top slot, and this one wants to be in the middle, and that one wants to be in the third. So these are all worth 1, these are worth 2, and this is worth 3 points. You're also you have a faction, so this player has the blue faction. All the cards that have that blue faction icon on them are worth 2 points, and you're trying to collect those.
Okay.
And then there's 3 scoring cards in play. There's 3 scoring cards in play. There's only one that isn't suited, and then there's one like this is for the blue suit and this is for the skull suit. And these are double-sided, so they all have different combinations, and there's a handful of them. So this area in the center of the table, these 3 cards are called the block. These are cards that are available that you bid on. And then this is called the warden card. And the warden card is going to tell you what the trump suit is at any given time. And then these are the 3 cards that are available. Everyone will get dealt 10 cards, and everyone will place 1 to start their vault. And then on your turn, the start player basically picks one of these 3 cards that they want to bid on, and they choose what they want to bid with.
Okay.
Obviously, the green card, because green is the trump suit, is going to take priority. But in general, I could use this, and I say, this is my bid for this card. And then you're going to go around the table, and maybe the purple player wants to outbid you, and they do that, right? So they really want that card. And in this instance, what would happen is this player wins the bid because they have a higher number. This card would go into their vault, and they can put it in on top of any stack. That would go into their vault, and then the winning bid then goes up here to be auctioned off for the next round.
Okay.
And then the losing bids, the card that they bid with, goes into their vault. So the idea is that you're bidding for a card that you want, but the card that you bid with, you want to try to bid with one that you don't mind getting back.
Gotcha.
And you can also do interesting things where, like, okay, someone else has bid this card, and I say, I'm going to intentionally underbid this because I want to get this card into my vault. Because it's in general kind of hard to get the cards in your hand into your vault. You have to go through this process. If you do that, then you have to give up a victory point and place it on the winning bid. And then if that were to resolve, I would get this card back into my vault like I wanted. This person would get this card in their vault. This card would go up here into the block for next round. And then on a future turn, if somebody gets that card, it comes as a victory.
Okay.
Once that's completed, the start player can swap this card with any of these 3 cards. So like maybe they want to put that away because they have a bunch of red cards that they're trying to use to trump action. And then and that continues. So you're going to do that 9 times. So you have a total of 10 cards when you start out with 1. And there's two little wrinkles. One, if you bid with a card where the faction marker on the warden card matches it, if I were to bid with this card, because it's the hammer and this is the hammer symbol, I can take a bonus action. And there's 2 different things you can do. One, you can discard a card you don't want, put it on the bottom of the deck, and grab a new one. Hey, that's a cool card. Or you can take a card in your vault and move it to another position. So, for example, this card is looking for, you're going to get 4 points for 2 cards of the same value in a column, or 9 points for 3 cards of the same value. I say, hey, that's cool. I'm going to move this 3 into this stack. And not only is it in the 3rd position, so now that's worth 3 points, but now I've got a pair here, which is going to give me another 4 points because of that card.
Okay.
So, and that's the game. It takes about 45 minutes to play. You're counting up the points from the position of each card, your faction icon, and then you're scoring these 3 cards, and then you get a point for every token you have, and you determine the winner. There's 1 to 5 players, and it takes about 45 minutes to play.
Yeah. Another fun take on trick taking.
It is. It's interesting.
Yeah,
It-
I like
it's-
that.
it's, I didn't have the words trick taking in my mind when I designed this game, because like you're kind of taking a trick one.
It's one,
Right.
yeah.
So that's why it doesn't feel like trick taking to me. But definitely it has that feel for people. But you're also you're doing some bidding, and there's a lot. I think it's kind of a hallmark of Thunderworks titles where like there's a lot of kind of different ways to score, and you're never going to get all these points. So it's
Right.
about figuring out at what point in the game where you want to focus on points in each area. And like there's a couple things to keep in mind about scoring and thinking about like what other people are doing, because the game has 6 decks, 1 through 10 in each deck. When you're playing with a lower player count, you use less of the suits. So so the number of cards in the game is usually I believe there's like 7 cards that will be out of play each game. So you can do a little bit of card counting as you play. So like, oh, I'm trying to get three threes, and I can see those guys each have 2 of them. I know there's only so many more available in the game. It must be in people's hands. I haven't seen it yet. So there's that kind of stuff that happens.
Yeah.
It's a small box game, but there's quite a bit of depth to the game.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think you talk about like hallmarks of different games. I think like having different scoring conditions and different sets and things. I mean, those are some things that I always expect from you guys and have some good stuff. So I like it. It's gonna be fun to get that out to the table. So